All right, friends, first thing is to draft the front pattern, and the first thing I'm going to do for that is to mark the waistline at the top of the pattern paper. So I'm going to come down by 0.5 inches from the top of the pattern paper. This 0.5 that we're leaving at the top is going to be the sewing allowance, like the joining where we'll attach the waistband to the shorts, because these shorts will have an elastic waistband. The next thing I'll do is to go 2 inches above this waistline, and I'm doing this because I'm assuming that when I'll use this pattern I'll be working with an elastic that will be 1 inch wide. So I'll place the mark 2 inch above the waistline, and I'm trying to get my hip line. So I'll come down to 12 inches because that's my hip line measurement. From my high waist to my hip line is 12 inches. So I'll mark all those points across and connect with a straight horizontal line. Now for the rest of our horizontal measurements, we're going to be placing our tape 2 inches above that waistline. The next thing is to mark the crotch depth, and I'll go down from this hip line by 2 inches. Mark it across and connect with a straight horizontal line. Then we're going to get the length of the shorts 2 inch above, and I'm working with 18 inches for the full short length. So I'll mark it again all the way across the pattern paper and then connect with a straight horizontal line. Alright, then for the hemming allowance, I'm using 1.5 inches. This is totally optional. You can do 2 inches, you can do 1 inch. It just depends on how wide you want the hem to be when your shorts are done. Then I'll come back to this crotch depth, and I want to do my round hip measurement divided by 4 plus 2 extra inches for ease. The 2 inches is optional again. You can use 3, you can make it less. It depends on how free or how loose you want the shorts to be. So I'll mark the same measurement on the waistline at the top, and then I'm going to connect those points with a straight vertical line, just like this. Alright, now the next thing is to get our crotch extension. So I'll come to this point and I'll do my round hip measurement divided by 4. Whatever you get, divide by 4 again. So for me it's 11.5. Then I'll divide by 4 by folding my tape twice like this. So that brings me to roughly 3 inches. I'll mark that point and then I'll connect with a shallow curve from the hip line. You can use your free hand for this. Now I'm going to get the full length from this crotch depth to this end here of the shorts, and whatever I get, I'll subtract 1 inch from that and I'll mark it on the hem. Now I'm doing this to reduce the wideness around my thigh, but if you'd prefer, you can just rule a straight line from the crotch depth straight down to the hem of the shorts. Now after that, I went ahead to label this pattern front of the baggy shorts. So I just wrote front baggy shorts. Then I started cutting, and then I just remembered that I did not add the ½ inch sewing allowance. I wanted to do that on the pattern paper, but I didn't really mark it out. I just used my eyes to just estimate it, and then I cut everything out. Waistline, the hip line, the crotch depth, the short length, and the hemming allowance. Now I'll come to this side here and I'm going to take out 1 inch. So I just come in by 1 inch, trace a slant line just like this, and that's it. So I'll just quickly cut out this area and the front pattern will be ready. Now to draft the back pattern, I'll simply place the front pattern on this extra pattern paper that we have, and you can see I have extra paper at the sides and at the top and the bottom. So now I'll leave those spaces as it is and place my weight on it. I'm going to go around this crotch area and I'm going 2 inches away from the front pattern. I'll do that from the top, round the curve and down to the bottom. And then I'm going to connect all these points that I marked. First with a straight line, and next I'm going to use my free hand to curve this area. Then finish off with the slant line and the straight line at the bottom. Okay. Then I just extended the line here to meet the top. Then I brought it down with a slant line to the side of the shorts. Then I'll also do the same 1 inch away from the side. Then I cut everything. So for this one, we're cutting on all the lines that we marked. Now you see that the back pattern is bigger. The reason is because your bum is at your back, so we need to make up for that extra space that we need to accommodate your to accommodate the buttocks, right? So that's why the back pattern is always bigger. So I just quickly labeled it, and that's it, guys. Both patterns are ready. Yep. So I believe this is pretty straightforward and easy. Anybody can do this, and this is going to save you the extra time you need to take your measurements on your fabric. So that's it, guys. Bye.